the problem of living amidst this huge technology revolution is that it's really hard to take a long-term view of where this is taking us, right? The closest example which I generally think about is the pre-COVID days, where we had that huge effort to bring technology, policy, and to a large extent social change ramped up to match the rate of COVID's viral replication, right? But we must understand that AI is getting exponentially better than before, at a huge pace, so much so that I guarantee to you all present here today that the tools which are yet to emerge are going to make ChatGPT Model 4 look just like a toy. That's the curve which we have ahead of us. And of course, skepticism is an easy way to confront these technologies. Perhaps consider them as being naive. They're just an autocomplete tool. But that's not good policy. That's not good politics. I don't want to live in a society which doesn't think deeply about the hugest technological change that we've witnessed in the last 50 to 100 years. So let's start with that. Given this profound transformative change in our society, in our economy, it's worth noting that the European Union's AI Act is the most important piece of legislation in this sector. And once it is approved and eventually implemented, it's going to contain the world's first rules about AI, with broad extraterritorial scope, right? Because it will regulate not merely those technologies built and in the EU, but also those technologies built outside the EU, but impacting EU market citizens. It's interesting how you position this, Matt, because if we had to widen this discussion, what we spoke about earlier, which is AI alignment to human values, the alignment problem, as it is known, is not only about AI and human alignment, but as you explained just now with the CV example, it's also human to human alignment. It's human to nation alignment. It's human to media alignment. I think we're at this stage in our evolution as a species where we really need better understanding of the goals of society today. And it's interesting you brought this example up, right? Because we have higher expectations of AI than we have of each other. So you would give a driving license to an 18-year-old who is reckless on the road, but you would expect a self-driving AI car to have a 99.999999% accuracy rate before you even consider legislating. And maybe that's fine. Maybe we should have higher expectations of technology. When you think about this argument which Dylan is making, it becomes so clear that the present day definition of solidarity as a democratic principle has changed from the 80s and the 90s, right? The idea of leaving no one behind today means raising the bar of digital maturity to ensure that most members of society have access to the technology and access to the awareness to allow them to fulfill their role as informed citizens. I've got a 4-year-old, his name is Gege, and it's funny that at school they teach them basic concepts in nutrition, which is great. Don't eat carbs, eat protein, etc. But we don't teach digital nutrition to 4-year-olds, although they've probably had 24 months of using technology in their daily life. Possibly we also need to think at which level we start understanding these and pushing forward these concepts. That the future of work, and work being such an important principle in our democracy, it's going to be a blend. It's going to be blended human and AI collaboration. No more AI at a separate distance from humans, and maybe those countries that confuse, those entities that confuse both, will be the ones that will win, right? That digital is not about technology. Digital is all about culture. It's all about people. And if we want to expedite Malta's journey in digital transformation, I think we need to think more deeply about culture. Right? Therefore, before we think about regulation, before we think about business strategy, I think we really need to talk about AI literacy, right? we need to take time to explain the basic concepts of AI, like classification, like confidence level, like machine learning, ethics, right? Fairness, to wide audiences which are non-technical, especially to those audiences which are non-technical. And we have a responsibility here to move AI out of the hype cycle, because hype creates marketing speak, and that hides the really tough questions that we have ahead of us. It shifts the discussion, right, from AI literacy to AI marketing.